like you better with glasses.
Too bad. I like me better without them.
Hey, pretty fans! Welcome to another episode of the Better with Glasses podcast. I am your host, Vicky Vizalia, and with me, as always, is Casey.
Hey.
And today we're here for a very special episode that is about Stranger Things.
Yeah, we are going to mosey on down from Cousins Beach down to Hawkins, Indiana.
Yeah. Right. And we have
Road
our little magazine here, and I normally don't dress like this. So we were watching season 3.
You do dress like that. The bun thing is a little new for you.
Do you know what it's called? It's a scrunchie.
A scrunchie. I do know scrunchie.
Okay.
I'm an 80s baby, technically, but I'm a 90s kid.
Yeah, right.
You know what I'm saying?
There's a lot of crossover between 80s, 90s, and then like even fashion now. But yeah, I have my Team Belly tee, which baby tees. Got my big jean jacket. And then I have my scrunchie a la 11 in season 3 when, so cute, she finds them all.
The golden era of the NBA was in the 80s, so maybe we can
The
the Larry Bird and Magic Johnson days. And in the latest season of Stranger Things, they finally acknowledged some of the amazing basketball that was being played in Indiana
during that time.
During the 80s. So, anywho, if this is your first time listening to the show, if you're a Stranger Things addict and you consume all the Stranger Things content, thank you for listening. We are Better with Glasses. I'm Casey. This is Vicky. We're married.
And we
so deeply in love.
So deeply in love. And we like to get on here and mostly talk about The Summer I Turned Pretty, which is how the podcast was started because of my obsession. But we are also a couple who likes binging and watching TV together.
Yes, and we're currently in a 2-year break between The Summer I Turned Pretty releases. So we're doing some fun stuff here, some popular stuff, and super excited about it. So if you are here for the first time, thank you for being here. We have the best fans in the world, and we hope that you are now a member of our clan.
Okay. You make it sound like a cult.
We were at an exercise class last night, and the teacher was like, "You got to be here again next week." And everyone was like, "Okay."
And you can see the little groups of people that came together being like, "Are we going again next week?"
I was like, "We joined a cult, everyone. We're officially in the cult."
So, anyway, I hope everybody's New Year's resolutions are going well. You said something interesting, which was that Casey doesn't really know if it's exactly a 2-year break, but we do know that we're not getting the Summer I Turned Pretty movie in 2026, and probably not early 2027 because they haven't started filming yet. Allah. Speaking of break between seasons and episodes, so if it weren't for the writer's strike, if it weren't for COVID, I think the release schedule for TSITP would have been a little bit different. What is the release schedule for Stranger Things? There was a post where it was like, all these shows, like Phenomena shows, started and ended before Stranger Things wrapped up.
I think they said The Summer I Turned Pretty started and concluded its television run before season 5 came out.
Yeah.
From season 4.
Yeah.
So like within the break from season 4 to season 5, the entire Summer I Turned Pretty show came out.
That's crazy.
Isn't that funny?
Yeah. Yeah. And I've been so obsessed with The Summer I Turned Pretty that I forgot how much I really liked and enjoyed Stranger Things.
You felt that way when Wednesday came out as well.
I felt that way. Oh, that it was easy to like just kind of jump back into. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, Wednesday.
But you also like get this feeling and this like obsession, and you were super obsessed with Wednesday and Stranger Things, and coming in close here is the Cleveland Cavaliers. So excited for that.
Yeah. All right. So you have some categories.
Oh yeah, I do. So we are going to do a little bit of crossover from the Summer I Turned Pretty and Stranger Things, a little bit of solo Stranger Things, and then, you know, keep it as real and as fun as possible here.
Yeah.
So, first question for you, my love.
Yeah.
What did you initially think of Stranger Things before you saw it? What did you think Stranger Things was?
Mm.
How'd you hear about it? How'd you watch it?
Yeah. Stranger Things was one of the ones where I didn't discover it. I was late to the game.
But even so, Stranger Things is one of the shows that predates us meeting.
Yes. Right. So I mean, it predates COVID. It predates us working from home, me particularly. So I used to run an office and we would go into the office and most of the people, so I'm in finance and most of the people in my industry and most of our advisors were like young 20 something males. And so I heard them talking about Stranger Things. Like they talk about all kinds of shows, but I heard them talking about Stranger Things. And then I think one of them was like, yeah, and my parents and I love watching it together. And like, what is it? So my first impression was that it wasn't exactly like Game of Thrones, right? Like Game of Thrones, I'm like, I don't know that I would sit there and watch it with my parents. Lots of nudity, lots of like violence, like incest, like all kinds of stuff. Great show. But it was the first time I'd heard them say that. And I'm like, okay, that's interesting. And then as it started to get more popular, I knew it as exactly what it was in season one, which is like The Goonies and Stand By Me and very like E.T. And although I wasn't an 80s baby, like I know what that is. Like I know the kids on a bicycle, like latchkey kids.
You are
Um,
an 80s baby, but you're a 90s child.
right, right. Yeah. And it wasn't so different.
And we like knew we didn't live the 80s, but we were so close to the 80s that we knew
It,
there was people always talking about it. Back to the Future,
yes.
Goonies. You like we're so close to it from older kids or whatever, and like seeing it redone that
Well, this is how old we are. You also take it for granted that when you were two, three, four, that your parents were actually young. You
right.
know, so
They lived the 80s.
yeah, so they lived the 80s and they were still young enough that they partook in the culture.
My dad's never left the 80s.
Your dad really has never left the 80s. But you see what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, even today, I'm like, oh, when will Casey age out of listening to rap music? And I'm like, I don't think ever.
No, I'm a rap dad. Well, I will be a rap dad.
But you see what I mean? And I'm like, there's a part of that that's not weird. It's just like you don't necessarily have to grow out of that stuff. So, like, when we were young, we were in the 90s, but our parents were probably living their best 30s, 40s
And
in the
we
80s.
will go over that exact thought that you just had. We're going to talk about some of that more.
Okay.
My initial thoughts on Stranger Things was I think I was probably a little bit of a hater just because it seems so sci-fi, right? And I like, I kind of have a little bit of a vendetta against like super heavy sci-fi, blah, blah, blah. So,
Really?
and I wasn't like back in 2016, I wasn't a big pop culture guy.
Yeah.
I was just learning
Yeah.
this technology, all this new technology, and like how to navigate it, right?
If we were to paint a like big brush on stuff, we're open-minded, but if we were to paint a big brush on stuff, Vicky doesn't like war movies. Casey doesn't like sci-fi. That's pretty fair,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, there are certainly a lot of exceptions, but
Right.
I would be like, first thing I would do is be like, hey, what are the critics saying? Is it an HBO show? Like all these like parameters that would like have to earn my respect before I jump in.
Mm.
And then I've certainly lost that along the way as I've stopped taking myself so seriously and become,
Meeting me,
but
who,
yes, becoming a man of the people and realizing that it's better to be wider than so focused.
yeah. Well, because this show has a cult following, right?
And it's
It's
just like a certain thing of like you when something's so popular and you're late to the game,
yeah,
it's like I can't join in now
yeah.
because like I'll just be a fucking bandwagon fan.
Yeah. And what I mean by that, right, is like I couldn't name like Oscar winning movies, although I've seen them, but like I love TV shows that were on the CW that if you go back to the cult following of them, they're not critically acclaimed, but the followings are huge. And Stranger Things had both. Like no TSITP didn't win any Emmys, but the production and the cast and obviously the stories like I really love. So,
I'm surprised they could have been nominated for some Emmys, like
well,
even
they
if it's
haven't
like production design or something like that.
been in Emmy season yet.
Okay.
Not
Golden
at least not
Globes
for
have happened.
2025.
Some of the Golden Globe stuff is great. Speaking of Oscars, let's get Chalamet an Oscar here. Okay. So that was how we came into Stranger Things, and then when season two came out, we were together. We caught up on season one. We watched season two, and then we've kind of been off to the races since then,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Um, let me pull up a little bit of my
You know what else? It's
jet. What?
as we were going into season 5, you were quite surprised by how much I actually retained and remembered from mostly season 1 and 2. You're like, how do you remember all this stuff? And then we had to remind ourselves, like, you're like, oh yeah, before we met, like you were
You
already,
had watched season one before we met.
and then we watched it together. And then I was pretty into it, so much so that you bought me an 11 little pop
Yeah,
doll.
and I had this is before TSITP, of course, and then I had a Stranger Things poster in my office. I
Yes.
had a I had a whole lot of cool stuff going on in my office, but it was a nice addition.
Yeah.
Okay, so Stranger Things, huge nostalgia show,
Hmm.
80s nostalgia everywhere. I'll talk about some of it, right?
Okay.
So season one opens up Winona Ryder.
Right.
Winona Ryder is like you get a gift for the older crowd, and then
Hmm.
you get all these young kids
That nobody knows.
that no one knows, but they're playing Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah.
They're, talking about Indiana Jones and they're, hitting all these check marks.
Yeah.
Um,
The music, the music is all like it's a lot of synth.
yeah, Star Wars heavy,
Yeah.
right? That was huge in the 80s. And then you get season two comes in, you got Sean Astin, the dude from the Goonies.
Hmm.
Um, there's just like all these things and people who come in throughout the series who is like nostalgia, nostalgia, nostalgia,
Yeah.
nostalgia. And it's just so dripping in 80s. The mall stuff from season three, the
The
outfits.
the mall stuff is, I mean, malls existed until the 2000s.
Yeah, we were mall kids.
Yeah, I when did malls start disappearing? Like 2010?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. But like the mall being the place to be is so great. Yeah.
Yeah, they go to the movies. I don't remember what movie they were seeing. I think it was the new Indiana Jones or the new Back to the Future
Yeah. But
in season three. Do you remember?
I don't remember. But I do remember, speaking of nostalgia, it's like, yeah, you would go visit your friend. Like when you had nothing else to do, you would go visit your friends who worked at the mall, right? So like we would always clock like, oh, this person works here, this person works there, this person works there, and just like go visit with them. And that reminds me of like it's really cute, but Dustin like going and broing out a little bit with Steve in season 3 when he gets back from being away for the summer. And what does Robin say? How many little children are you friends with?
Right.
Because they all run up and go see Steve, and that certainly wouldn't have happened pre-season 1. So
Um, it looks like they go to see Back to the Future.
oh yeah,
So that would be the first one, and that would be 1985.
yep.
So when the kids, season three, the kids go to the movies, that's the mall heavy series season, which it doesn't get the most love. Season four usually gets the most love, but I really love season three because of it's so dripping in this mall vibe, which well, you know what? I worked at the movie theater when I was in high school,
Yeah.
and that was the place to hang out. All the kids from high school, like different friend groups, like different, I guess, like sociological love
Clicks.
cliques,
Clicks.
or just kids, like
Yeah.
individuals worked at the movie theater. So
Yeah.
you'd get all sorts of different friend groups coming to
Yeah.
the movie theater.
Yeah.
It was the best, man. It was the best. It was a three theater,
Uh-huh.
and we only had a couple movies
That's a
going on
little
each time.
theater.
It was a little. I mean, come
Oh,
on, you
okay.
know the town I grew up in.
Yeah.
Um, and it's not open anymore, but the Liberty Theater was a vibe for
Yeah.
sure.
We had the best of both worlds.
Cold as shit. The heat was not working up the code. It's like,
You
hey,
sound sad.
yeah, you going to Fat Albert? All right, that's in theater three. You're gonna want to wear your jacket.
That's crazy.
Okay, so nostalgia,
Yeah.
huge, dripping this series. What is your relationship to nostalgia of
In general,
yeah.
uh, yeah, I don't have a lot of nostalgia for when I was the younger kids' age. Like in Stranger Things. Like the younger kids' age, like I don't have a lot of nostalgia from that era. A lot of mine comes from like the older kids' age, or probably why I identify so much and love The Summer I Turned Pretty is because my nostalgia comes from number one, watching a lot of those teen shows,
Yeah.
watching a lot of the coming of age shows, and then coming of age, right? So, like, being a girl who is turning pretty is a metaphor for the fact that she's growing up and having all these experiences. So like having crushes and getting into fights with your best friend and like all of the drama that feels very big and heavy that really isn't that big and heavy and like fighting with your parents, like all that stuff that Belly honestly goes through is more nostalgic for me. But not
Well,
that, I was going to a beach house and had two boys fawning over me that were brothers, but that that time in my life is probably what I think of the most.
to be fair to Stranger Things, there is a lot of coming of age in
Sure.
Stranger Things as well.
Sure.
It's a lot about friends, and so it's coded with monsters and fucking crazy
Yeah.
Russian shit and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
But like 11 turns pretty basically throughout
Right.
this series.
Right.
She fights with Hopper.
Yep.
There's a lot of that. It's not as main
There,
main plotty as the Summer
yeah.
I Turned Pretty is,
Yeah.
but there is certainly a ton of coming of age.
There's just a lot of boys.
Well, that's why I think I'm more nostalgic for
Yeah.
Stranger Things because you have no matter where when you grew up, like my favorite stuff to this day is still the stuff when I was from 1993 to 1997, 98, 99. Like
Yours is more pop culture so yours is more like coded in Stranger Things, right? And
yeah, right. So
yeah.
I like sports from that era, music from that era, stories from that era, uh, wrestling from that era, fashion from that era. There's like
Yeah.
I love 90s everything.
Yeah.
I dreamt to have a 90s store.
Yeah.
So like 90s I love. 90s is the greatest decade in the history of the world.
Yeah.
So I do love nostalgia. It takes you back to a place where it's like comfort, there's
Yeah.
comfort in the things of your youth before things got so serious. And I think with a lot of things, like I work with this girl who used to ride horses, right? When she was a kid. But then when you get 16, 17, 18, 19, that's not cool anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But then you always come back to it. And that's how it was for me with a lot of things. Like I when the partying starts and the girls start and the you know, your priorities change in high school,
Yeah.
you get away from some of the stuff that the Dungeons and Dragons, like you see the kids in Stranger Things, you
Yeah.
get away from it a little bit. Will wants to hang on, but um
Yeah.
the other boys don't want to. As you grow up, these things fade away, but then they always come back.
Yeah. Can I actually, now that you're saying all this stuff, it makes me, so I'm gonna name some things from my childhood that still stick with me that I do. And I don't know if it's 80s or 90s, but I'm just gonna name some, right? Amusement parks,
You love
right?
amusement parks.
Amusement parks. Um, what else?
Popcorn.
No, not popcorn. TV dinners. I grew up on TV dinners, and I don't know if people still are like, but TV dinners used to be like the commercials for them,
Mm,
you know? So
the
like
little sprinkles on the brownie.
stuff like that. Yeah. What else? I just had a whole bunch in my head. Oh, not Dungeons and Dragons, but karaoke machines. Like just having the like I it was my dream to get a karaoke machine for my birthday.
I wanted an easy bake oven so I could eat the snacks.
Right. Well, to bake the snacks or just eat
I just want
them.
to eat the snacks.
Okay. That's crazy. Light bulb cooking a very thin brownie and kids being like, "Wow, it's an oven." It's so cute. What else? I was very big board games. So I grew up, I wanted all the board games. It was my favorite aisle at back then Walmart. Like, and getting a board game, I think my fifth birthday, I got like I must have gotten like six different board games, and it was so exciting. But I was not an only child, but there was such an age gap between myself and my brother that when I was that age, he wasn't really living at home, so I didn't have a lot of people to play board games with.
Bummer.
Yeah.
You needed solitaire.
Shut up. I did play solitaire. Yeah, so like that, I would say like that kind of stuff.
Yeah. I don't remember what I had a thought. I lost it.
Oh,
But I had a birthday where I got Hulk Hogan everything.
and that was your big thing.
I remember it like it was yesterday. I got all like 7 different Hulk Hogan gifts.
Yeah.
Hulkamania running wild.
Okay.
Okay. So speaking of 80s nostalgia, we also went to an 80s dance party a couple years ago.
Yeah.
That was fun.
It was fun, and we were kind of surprised on like how many songs of the 80s we knew.
Bro, 80s people take the shit. 80s people love the 80s.
Yes.
Love the 80s.
I think that 90s people love the 90s too, but it's like it's far enough out of reach that like you it's not far enough out of reach that it's like as iconic, I think, as the 80s right now, but it'll get there.
Okay. What is your favorite ship from Stranger Things?
Friendship
Any
or
ship,
romantic
actually.
relationship? Um, my favorite ship, I mean, this is a cop out. Everybody says this, but um Dustin and Steve
Okay,
Harrington.
shit. That would have been mine too.
They have the best arc. They have the best cuteness. They are the most like unlikely couple. It's just so cute.
I like it especially when they like meet in season 3 and it's like they meet at the ice cream
Yeah.
shop and they have their own
Handshake.
handshake. Like
It's so cute.
so there is a certain like
But you know what I forgot?
what did you forget?
When they first meet for the first time, like Dustin is like literally trying to find everyone that can help him with this like
Like that
baby
that's why we're with Steve Harrington.
with the baby Demogorgon that he
Dart.
had as a pet, Dart, and nobody's around. And Steve, he basically accosts Steve to help him. But like the scene where they're walking down the railroad tracks and he's talking about this crush that he has, and Steve's trying to like talk him up and like tell him how to deal with girls. Like it's just so cute. I forgot that that was like the formative years of Dustin and Steve.
I had someone close to me kind of in that age difference and I remember having those exact conversations with them,
Yeah.
which all good.
The Farrah
Shout out to the
Fawcett
homies.
the Farrah Fawcett hairspray, and then he
It's
takes
like
him.
3 sprays and went
Yeah,
half blah blah blah.
it's
Okay,
great.
I would say my favorite ship also Dustin and
Steve.
Steve. I don't like. I want it to be uh shit. I can't remember her name right now.
Nancy?
Yeah, Steve and Nancy, but
I have thoughts.
there's lots of thoughts, and we're gonna
There's
do
thoughts.
another Conrad's episode about Steve Harrington, but
On Patreon.
on Patreon. But there was just so many seasons where Steve and Nancy weren't it,
Mm-hmm.
where it kind of like faded out over the end of the series. Like there wasn't really a will they, won't they. It was like, okay, I guess this isn't happening.
Yeah, there was a little bit of like they just they Paxton Hall you cheated my
They do
guy.
Paxton Hall, you shoot him, my guy. They,
Not in his character. His character is great, but in terms of the love interest part of it, I I don't love the ship as much. I just want Steve to win. So we're gonna cover this in the other Conrads. Like Conrad Fisher, by far, is my favorite character. Like I want him to just be happy and win, whatever that means. But
they,
in The Summer I Turned Pretty, it's just so evident that it is Belly.
mhm.
And here I'm like, does he deserve Nancy?
Does Nancy deserve him?
Does Nancy deserve him?
Like
No, well, yeah, does he deserve Nancy in season one? And then does Nancy deserve him by the end? I'm like,
they did my boy dirty a little bit. Like they kind of hit him with the Paxton Hall Yoshida of like small town dreams. I'm
mm,
not leaving this place.
no
Which
spoilers, but yeah.
yeah, no spoilers. Listen, when I was that age, I felt the exact same way. I was never leaving my hometown. I
Hmm.
was like, I got everything I need here. And then Steve Harrington, in about 5 or 6 years,
Hmm.
he's gonna look around. It ain't the same as it was when he
Hmm.
was 22, and he's gonna be ready for a change.
Maybe, or
So
he's gonna be mayor of Hawkins. You know, I could see either.
maybe
It's very similar to another one of my favorite characters, from Friday Night Lights. Tim
who
Riggins. Tim Riggins just gonna live in the
Texas
town,
forever.
Texas forever, and he's building his house and he's got his shit together, and it's about building a life, not about chasing girls. It's great.
Or chasing dreams.
Or chasing dreams. Or chasing dreams that are now past, like in that case, football.
Yeah.
So anyway, um,
Did Tim Riggins have shit together at the end of the series?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So they did a little fast forwardy thing.
They always make the stay-at-home guy a coach.
They really do.
Paxton Hall Yoshida, coaching swimming. Uh, Steve Harrington, coaching baseball,
Yeah.
which is an unpaid position, by the way.
Well, that's why he's also a teacher.
Tim
I'm just
Riggins,
learning things now.
okay. Sorry.
All right. It's not a huge plot
Not a
point.
huge problem.
But
Okay, listen. All right, let me move on. Let me
wait,
move
wait,
on.
do you have any other like honorable mention shout outs?
I gave mine to Nancy and Steve.
Okay. Yeah, I Dustin and Steve. I also like Steve and Robin a lot.
Yes.
For many reasons they don't work out, but like as friends, they're great. And then what about Hopper and Joyce?
That took number one in the magazine's relationship rankings. I wouldn't go that high.
We're watching season 3, and it is funny to watch Hopper spin out about the fact that he's trying to pursue Joyce and she just wants to figure out why the magnets don't stick to her fridge. It's so funny.
Right.
That's a good bit. And then he helps her on this like crazy magnet quest just because he likes her.
And I don't have the same like undying love for Winona Ryder that some other folks do,
Yeah.
but yeah.
Well, some girls on some other Stranger Things podcasts also have an undying love for Hopper. So I also don't have that feeling. I like the younger kids, but and then there's
I like
always,
the medium kids.
I like Elle. I mean Elle and Mike.
I'm a Max and Lucas fan.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, Max and Lucas, Elle and Mike. Elle and Mike, they went through their annoying phase, and it does annoy me to watch them go through it. But the same way that it annoys me to watch Belly and Conrad in season 2.
I dump your ass.
I dump your ass. Yeah.
Okay.
There's always this point where like the girl stands up for herself and like it's like even though I love this guy, I'm pushing my feelings down. That's always a good trope. It works every time.
Works every time.
It works every time. It annoys the audience, and hopefully we get our resolution.
Most underrated character from the Stranger Things universe.
I think there's a fan for everyone. So
There is.
I don't know. I would have said Will up until season 5, man. Like we'll talk more about that, but like all of a sudden Will shot up to like possibly my second favorite character.
Damn.
Um, so yeah, I mean, I think underrated. I don't know if Max is underrated.
I think she's properly rated.
Okay. She's just like her and Robin are just like very even keel. And I think because of that, I'll go with either one of them. Who do you pick? Oh, your guy.
Murray Bauman, the conspiracy theorist who has some of the best comedy and comedic relief of the show, is my most underrated.
Yeah.
Every time Murray hits the screen, you're going on. It hits 11 on the dial.
I
And
thought you were talking about
it's
11.
super fun. It does hit 11 on the dial, and that's also an 80s nostalgia reference. This is Spinal Tap. Every time Murray Bauman hits the stage, it's fun. It's gonna move the plot, but it's also gonna be in a very dressed up, hilarious way.
Yeah.
And he's a conspiracy theorist. Like, come on, that no one takes seriously. But
they know he's the guy.
Yeah, he's the guy.
Like, oh, you got a weird thing you want to look into? Like, go knock on this guy's door, wave in the camera a little bit, and maybe he'll open the door.
Right. Like there are those people. You're like, hey, I want to get a little bit weird today. And I want to talk about, fucking reptile people. Let me go talk to Blockity Block. They'll entertain my shit for a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's Murray Bauman.
Is your dad that guy?
No.
He wouldn't be the guy that just like talk. I feel like your dad could talk about anything.
He would.
He'd entertain it, but
he'd entertain it. He doesn't have like any big thoughts on
yeah, okay, I gotcha.
Anything. Okay. Who else? Oh.
What's up?
Who's your least favorite character?
I'm
obsessed with Vecna, by the way.
I know.
He might be my favorite character.
Yeah. Henry, the crazy kid who killed his whole family and built the Upside Down, or
Vecna as the monster.
Okay, as the monster.
He talks like this.
Least favorite character. I would probably say like the science teacher.
Okay.
He's like a common thread throughout, but they just kind of like he's not as good as Murray. He's not as funny as Murray. He's always just kind of lost, but they use him in a similar way. Like, oh, we need a guy who knows astrophysics. Like, let's go call him.
Yeah, for sure. He's kind of like the. I feel like Murray market corrected him a little bit. Like, hey, let's upgrade this adult authority figure to help piece the puzzle together.
Yeah, I know who yours is because she's annoying.
Who?
And she stays annoying. Lucas's sister.
Yes, she was great early on, and then I feel like by season 4, season 5, it's just pure fan service where like they got to keep her around, but she doesn't really do much.
I just wish she had grown up a little bit more.
Yeah, she's doing the same shit.
Yeah, it was really funny when she was like kind of like young and sassy, and like to watch her and Steve go back and forth a little bit in season 3, but then by season 5 she was still kind of doing that same thing.
Right.
Yeah.
All right.
Whereas Holly like grew up a ton, so like that part just didn't make sense.
Both shows are about both The Summer I Turned Pretty and Stranger Things are about losing the comfort of a place. Hawkins, the basement, Cousins Beach, the beach house.
Yeah. Or the time before.
Which loss feels heavier to you? What are your thoughts on each? Let's explore that a little bit.
Which loss feels heavier? In the real world, in the real world, I think Hawkins.
Same.
But it's because if you put yourself in that situation, which is science fiction, if you put yourself in that situation, what your town used to be like before it was quite literally opened up into different dimensions,
Hmm.
riddled with actual monsters who have killed a lot of your neighbors and friends. And then there's a hostile government entity that comes in to try to hide it and protect it. Like, you're never going back really to a time, even in your mind, overpriced therapy included, like to a time where it was just the 80s before that.
Okay.
So
Very literal. I like
it's
it.
very literal, right? Now, with cousins, it's all emotional. Like, can you really recapture? Like, it's hard to think back on the time before you literally, and it's not Belly's fault. I'm just using these words, broke up a family.
Hmm.
The mom figure that owned and created this life in this house has passed away,
Right.
right? Like, it is. And for Jer talks about it in season 3. Like, I don't know when I'll be able to go back there without all these feelings about the two of them being there. But like, yeah, that's all very emotional.
Right. It's all both sides very emotional. Like Cousins Beach will never be the same. Too much has happened. It'll never be pre-season one ever again.
Yeah.
Hawkins, the basement, I specifically think about with like the Dungeons and Dragons. They go and, you know, spoiler alert, there's a closing of a chapter with the basement, and they'll never get back to there. They're going to college,
Yeah.
and there's like that feeling of, you can think back to that feeling of like high school's over,
Yeah.
we're going to college, some of the innocence
Is
of our
long.
youth is lost. Um, so both are very heavy to deal with, but
I will say, well, actually, let me get your opinion. Both shows try to do the same thing. So the ending on the sequence of them playing Dungeons and Dragons on their
spoiler.
yeah, spoiler alert, on their graduation night, putting their books away on the shelf, Mike looking back, the younger kids running past him, like that gave me chills. Like I think I teared up during that part. Like I knew what it was doing to me and I just kept watching, like fixated on it. And I think that was just like a really beautiful close because of what you're talking about. Now, The Summer I Turned Pretty tried to do the same thing with like Belly went away, there's some time, there's some space, and then they show that montage after the train where Belly and Conrad have come back to cousins.
Mm-hmm.
And the shot of Belly and Conrad in the car driving down that same thing, her hanging her head out the window, but this time, like, he's holding her hand and he, like, kisses the back of her hand, also gave me the same feelings. But the ending shot of Belly and Conrad in Cousins didn't do it for me because it didn't have the other characters there. A la movie, right? I think that,
Coming in hot.
yeah, I think that big, like, everybody is back and everything's okay. Um, I think we're still waiting for that with TSITP. So I
Okay.
actually like the moving on but paying homage to the old place. I like how Stranger Things did it more.
All right, check it, check it, check it, check it, check it. You were just talking about all the characters from The Summer I Turned Pretty.
Yeah.
Think about all those. Put them in your head right now.
Oh, they're
All the
always in my
characters.
head.
All the
They're always dancing around like sugar plum fairies.
Okay. Get them all lined up in a row.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
We are about ready to go into battle. We're meeting up at the buyer's house and we're going to fight off Demogorgons. We're going to start communicating with Will on the other side. We're going to open up the universe. We're going to fight the monsters and the bad people
Yeah.
and Vecna and blah blah blah.
Yep.
Okay, we're all meeting up at the buyer's house.
Yep.
You get to pick one Summer Turn Pretty character to come and help out. Who are you picking?
Belly. Hands down, Belly.
What?
Yeah.
She'll fall down within like 5 minutes.
I pick Belly. I pick
Explain
Belly.
yourself.
Uh, I think that she is smart. I think that she is resourceful. I think that when she has her eye on a certain prize, she can go for it. She's really competitive. And when she's in like a non-fuck around mood, like she's pretty good.
Okay. I would say Taylor way scrappier than Belly, just as
I
competitive.
didn't say scrappy. I said full package.
Taylor, scrappy, equally as competitive as Belly, doesn't care what, doesn't give a fuck, trusts her instincts, trusts herself. I would throw Taylor in there.
Smaller in stature.
Listen, if Belly and Taylor were fighting, Taylor beats Belly's ass 10 out of 10 times. Now, let's not forget, Jer's never lost a fight.
True.
Jer's never lost a fight. He likes to throw hands.
Yes.
He could
Quickly.
be, yeah. He's ready to
He's
fall off.
yeah, he's ready to fly off the handle at any given moment.
He could be a good asset at uh the Stranger Things
Yeah.
fight as well.
Yeah. Yeah. Conrad would be more of like a Lucas. Just like they're helpful to the party, like helping with the design of everything. But or maybe like even Dustin. Like Dustin always like puts the pieces of the puzzle together. But like
Okay.
you know, spoiler alert, they're climbing the tower at the end and like he's the last one up. Like I mean, he's Conrad's obviously more athletic, but it's yeah. But I would say Belly. It's just because what I think of when I think of Belly is I think of just like how savage she was in the volleyball thing, like not giving a fuck, like just wanting to win. I think of that. I think of even though it's a little annoying, her like motivational speech to like beat the boys in the boardwalk games. I think of how competitive she was at shoot your shot. I think of her tracking down her backpack and like
Okay.
just how feisty she was about that. I just think Belly.
Those are some good points in Belly's favor.
Yeah.
I'm gonna respect your opinion.
But
And
disagree.
who else? My girl Denise would be a bad motherfucker too.
Yeah.
Denise would
Yeah.
be a bad motherfucker in there.
Yeah.
Um,
Steven?
no.
Any love for Steven? I don't
No.
think so.
No.
Yeah. No,
No
sorry,
Steven, no Conrad, no Cam, no.
Well, if we had evidence that Conrad could actually fight, he'd basically be Steve Harrington. But, he's not.
Yeah, Conrad lost the killer instinct before the show started.
He is sad. He's going
Right.
through some stuff.
Understood.
But I
Who
think
else?
life and death, if the aliens were attacking, like, yeah, he might be helpful.
He'd be like, oh, I gotta think about
Shut
it.
up.
Okay. Speaking of
Yeah.
mind frames,
Yeah.
go and line up all those characters in your head again.
Okay.
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 Vecna
Yeah.
has now interspooled his web to the Cousins Beach town.
Okay.
Okay. He wants to start making inroads and creating Hawkins East. Okay. He wants to take over the town
Okay.
and do his thing.
Yeah.
Who does he go after to control?
Are you thinking like hive mind?
I suppose that's what it's
Okay.
called. Who's the will
Who
of
does
this?
he like intercept, put a tube in their mouth?
Who's the vulnerable boy that
Who's the spy for
yeah.
that? Okay.
Who's the vulnerable one who is the most easy to take over, and who does Vecna go after?
It
Well,
depends on it depends on the era in which we're talking about, but this is where I might go Taylor.
I'm with it. Keep going.
Yeah, this is where I might go Taylor.
She does have
Because
some insecurities that we're not.
she has insecurities. Yeah. Yeah. She's working through it. I mean, that's the thing. That's the great thing about TSITP is it's more like a character show than a action show. So you do get deeper character development. So they're all going through stuff.
I mean, yeah, Conrad has this big bullseye on his back of like daddy issues. And
And belly issues. So
yeah, but I don't think Vecna cares about that. I don't think Vecna cares about your love history
I
as a
mean, for
16-year-old.
Will, okay, whatever. I mean,
That's
yeah.
more of an identity thing.
I know, I got you. I got you. That's why I started to say it, and then I'm like, okay, maybe not.
Okay, but Conrad's got the bullseye target of daddy issues. Maybe Vecna could latch on there.
I think Jer.
Jer
I think
also.
Jer. Actually, no, I take it all back because Jer is the only one who he's on his path when we see him at the end of season 3, but he hasn't figured it out yet.
Yeah, he's got brother issues, daddy issues, probably some identity stuff. He's got plenty of stuff.
Yeah, and also uh belly issues. It sounds like belly issues, like tummy issues.
Tummy issues.
But yeah, like he's still going to be damaged by that for a little bit, I think, and he has to work through that. So, and also evil Jer. Like watching the seasons over, the people who get possessed or controlled by Vecna are scary as fuck.
So are you saying that Jer may already be controlled by Vecna?
No, I'm saying I just think of like evil apple eating Jer
Oh,
and like just like angry Jer at the party when he's like lashing out at Conrad. Like there's like he does angry very well. Sometimes it's unhinged and I'm like, okay, let's see that on full display.
you can also get Conrad on full display of backseat Conrad, serial killer Ted Bundy Conrad.
That's true.
You can get that turned up to a.
Yeah. But I still think I'd go Taylor.
Yeah, I would say Jer, Conrad, Taylor, any of those three.
I think Taylor because you have to have someone who's like crying, who is really emotional, like wears her emotions like very much on her sleeve, has some deep-seated insecurities that could be explored, and also could be possessed without you really knowing it until she turns full evil. And maybe I'm just thinking of
Will's
Rain.
just this innocent little kid that got,
Well, that's kind of the whole point.
damn. So maybe think of the younger kids now.
What younger kids?
Like we've seen young Bella, young Conrad, young Jer. It would actually be those, probably. It would actually be that character who would be getting.
Yeah, but I just don't know those characters that well.
You want me to talk about my infinity pancakes?
No.
Okay.
Don't talk about your infinity pancakes.
Okay. Do you have any other thoughts on Stranger Things / The Summer I Turned Pretty?
Let's see.
We've been rewatching all of it.
Yeah.
So we obviously watched the new season.
Yep.
Banger.
So we're gonna throw up our spoiler alert here. Maybe you can make a little graphic for the YouTubers. So let's talk series finale because that is the one thing for me that they both have in common, which is that this year or not this year, it's 2026 now, but in 2025, both came to a conclusion. Both had a pretty big like international, like global presence by the end. Both had a lot of anticipated run up to it. And both had, maybe it's just because the feed was sending me things, but both had a lot of Conrad and Steve memes.
Yeah, I didn't see any of those Steve memes or Conrad memes.
I told you about them.
You told me about them. I'm like,
the Conrad ones. It was like, please don't kill Conrad. Please let Conrad win.
Right.
It was Conrad redemption story, like stuff like that was like all over and
I don't know what the whole why they would think that they would kill Steve.
Well, the Steve thing was like, oh my gosh, it's the final season, and they revealed that one person would die. They didn't say who.
Gotcha.
They didn't say who. They didn't say it was going to be a main character, but everyone was like, there were a lot of funny memes where it's like it's Thanksgiving because of when they released. They're like, it's Thanksgiving. It's the holiday season. Please don't kill Steve Harrington.
Yeah, they never killed off anyone big.
There are people who it's kind of like how in season three, you knew it wasn't going to happen, but you like to like poke at me where you're like, what if Conrad just dies? Or like, what if Conrad doesn't win?
Right.
Right? What if Belly does choose your like you anticipated that it wouldn't happen, but it
There's like
was
a
something that
0.5% for anything that
that
can
you
happen.
yeah, you enjoyed kind of like prodding, and I think that's what it was. It was like none of this is worth it if Steve dies.
But both seasons, Summer Turned Pretty and Stranger Things, they both end with a little bit of ambiguity, right?
Yes.
Like, where did it go?
Yeah.
It's open to interpretation, and I think it's nice. I mean, I wouldn't be there's. I think there's Stranger Things stuffs in the works already. There's obviously some pretty stuff in the works. So it's just like the theater of the mind right now. The fan base uh can do their own storytelling,
Yeah.
and it's perfect. And in this day and age of IP, it sets it up for the future content to come out.
Right. Now, one thing that it's funny, whenever I watch shows or finish shows, I do go and read like critic reviews and stuff, and I read article reviews and stuff. And I always do with shows that are a little bit more complex, like a Stranger Things. Like I just want to make sure I got it,
Right.
like did I get it the way that it was supposed to be gotten? And I did a lot of that. We were at the Omni. It was between Christmas and New Year's. We had watched it, and like that whole day I was just like kind of reading stuff. And one of the things there was no article about it, but I wanted to see what AI pulled. And I asked if the Summer I Turned Pretty series finale or the Stranger Things series finale was more well
It's
received.
got to be TSITP.
And at that time when I read it, I haven't read it since, they said by and large, because The Summer I Turned Pretty was mostly focused on a love triangle, and there was a real resolution to the love triangle, and it was the more popular couple, and because Conrad Fisher was such a huge
Yeah.
thing during that time, yes, it was more well received. Because some people didn't like the ambiguity of Stranger Things.
It was also way harder for them to hit the mark.
Yes.
You
Yeah.
know, Stranger Things, it's like Game of Thrones. So it's
Yeah.
like the world is so expansive
Yeah.
that the fans have different attachments to so many different things. It's more difficult to tie a neat bow on it.
Yeah.
I mean, Summer Turned Pretty. There's one thing that needs to happen.
Yeah, but you
Kind of a nice, neat bow.
but you know what was great? They like both shows took a swing and did it differently on how they were going to end the season
Hmm.
or the series rather. So like you remember we were watching Stranger Things and like the big action sequence, the big battle, we knew that was going to take place.
Right.
But that concludes Vecna's dead and there's still an hour of the show left. You see what I mean?
Right.
And like I'm always very curious as to how shows like that end. Because like do they do like a fast forward? Do they take time to wrap it all up? Um Dawson's Creek did that, but Buffy the Vampire Slayer like didn't do that. And How I Met Your Mother did this like really weird like jump into the future where they basically shoehorned a bunch of things in. Like to this day, How I Met Your Mother's finale is still like people hated it, right? But then there's like Lost, where it's like, oh, it was all a dream. So like there's a whole bunch of stuff like that, and I'm always very curious as to where shows end. So Stranger Things, that was impressive to like give us the action sequence, which was what the expectation was, and then give us a full hour of resolution. But you knew because they did it that way, there was not a movie to be announced. The Summer I Turned Pretty, we were pretty surprised about how much Paris we got. Like
Mhm.
the last episode is all Belly and Conrad in Paris. And we didn't get a cousin speech reunion. We didn't get all the characters ending up back together at all.
Right.
And so I think that's why you particularly hit the nail on the head, where you're like, that was great. It did kind of it did a very good job at what it was intending to do, which was give us a resolution of the love triangle, give us a resolution for Jer, who has this love that's not just an idea now, but it's a real thing
Yeah.
that he's trying to put together with his career. And it worked out really, really well.
There are two Stranger Things spin-offs already in the works.
Go for it.
Stranger Things Tales from '85 is an animated show that Netflix announced that the Duffer Brothers, the creators, are currently working on. Will hit sometime this year.
Wow.
Yep. So that is
And then I heard rumblings that there was going to be a Nancy Robin spinoff.
Stranger Things Tales from '85 will take place between seasons 2 and seasons 3 and feature original characters with new voices. And then there's also a prequel
Oh,
that's going to be hitting Broadway
oh, okay.
from the original creators, so that's wild and exciting. There's also an untitled live action series. Damn.
Hmm.
The spin-off will introduce a new time period and characters.
Oh, interesting. So maybe the one that I heard was fake news. But I heard that there's going to be a Robin and Nancy spinoff of the time between season 4 and season 5, I think is what I read. That would be really cool, but maybe that's not real.
Let me ask.
What, which finale did you like better? Which finale gave you more satisfaction? Which finale gave you more of the feels? Go.
Stranger Things officially confirms Nancy Wheeler spinoff after season 5, volume 1.
Nice. Okay. There you go. I knew I wasn't making it up, but I guess Robin, maybe not. And I got the timeline wrong. So
There is an official Stranger Things spinoff story featuring Nancy and Robin.
oh,
I don't know. Maybe I'm not.
this seems crazy. Like there's an official 4 things that are continuing.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That the way that it ends, they certainly allow. They set
Yeah.
it up for all sorts of content in this day and age. Come on.
Yeah, but not the way that TSITP did. TSITP, we were like, it wasn't like a, oh, that's it. It was like a, oh my gosh, we didn't get to see them get married. Oh my gosh, they didn't do the flash forward that we saw in the books. Like, oh, like we don't get to see them all back together at the Cousins Beach house, just Belly and Conrad, and there's no words. So, yeah,
I think it's a book.
what's a book?
The Nancy follow-up.
Oh,
Stranger Things, one way or another.
interesting.
Billed as a Nancy Wheeler mystery on its cover. The story follows Nancy, who, with Robin's help, investigates a mystery surrounding one of her classmates.
That's the one. That's the one. Yeah.
So it's already released. We'll have to do some more research. This is like research on the fly. But
Answer my question.
I would just say TSITP because we have more investment in it.
That's such a cop-out answer. If we didn't have a vested interest, like
I think this Stranger Things is a deeper universe that you can get more invested in.
okay. But when we were watching it,
Mm-hmm.
which one gave you more of the feels and satisfaction?
Probably Satisfaction. Some Return Pretty. It's way easier to digest.
Okay. Less complex.
Yeah, less complex. Like Stranger Things is like you take a couple months out, you dive yourself into the universe, you do the research, you do like
Yeah.
it's a very, very thorough story with like layers that you can on the 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th rewatch, you're still picking up new shit.
Right. Yeah, and you're right.
It's dense text here.
Yeah, but you're also right. I mean, we can analyze and overanalyze, and like I know the Summer I Turned Pretty backwards and forwards. I can't go toe to toe with real Stranger Things podcasters, you know what I mean? On
Right.
like the lore and all the intricacies of everything.
Henry
And
Creel.
Yeah, and I love the characters, but I haven't done a deep Vicky character study of them the way that I've done it with every character on The Summer I Turned Pretty. So that's fair.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, um, great show, great television,
Oh, love it.
two series wrapped, and worth a rewatch. And if you haven't watched it, do it because um, there's there is a love triangle.
Yeah, and there's some
It's
other
hard to rope me into it if there's not at least some love triangle or some like relationship or character that is a standout character that you root for. And even though we're doing other Conrads, and very clearly for me it's Steve Harrington, it's not just Steve, right? Like there's plenty of characters in different moments to like super duper root for.
right,
Steve Harrington as a I'm rooting for them. I'm probably rooting for Steve Harrington. Will by season 5, like that they did that story arc so well, and I did it paid off for me. Like
yeah,
what they tried to do, it worked. It wasn't working in the beginning, and then when the final payoff happens, I'm like, that was so fucking cool. The end of volume 1 of season 5 was like it might be the biggest like holy shit moment.
right.
And then obviously 11.
Yeah. So I hope you guys enjoyed this Stranger Things take that we did. Any more, any other big pop culture momentous shows that come out that take the world by storm that I think has great crossover, we're gonna try and do, but also let us know. We've heard some, things about what's that one show that
Maxton Hall.
Maxon Hall. Everyone has mentioned Maxon Hall. We will
I mean,
explore
even
that world.
yeah, podcasters who don't do a podcast about Maxton Hall have like mentioned like, oh, what were the best fictional characters of 2025? And like Conrad's on that list, and we got from Maxton Hall.
So that could be something that we dive into, but we also are going to continue our Replay It Forward series, which has been so fun so far. Thank you for everyone who's supporting that. We still have life advices in the can. If you have any life advices, please send them in. We have, yeah, a lot of things planned for the new year, and keep in mind that if you're not a YouTube watcher, the podcast goes out on YouTube, so you can watch me and Vicky do it if that interests you. But
Or so you can see my 80s gear.
and we appreciate everyone who has supported us, everyone who's Patreon. Keep in mind it's also one price now, $3.99 for any new Patreon subscribers. And if you have any questions, comments, concerns, at Better with Glasses Pod on Instagram. Vicky's always holding that down over there. Long form stuff like life advice, etc. betterwithglassespod@gmail.com. That's our email. Thank you so much for listening to the show. I love that we have the ability and you guys are welcoming of a little bit like outside the box episodes. So appreciate that.
All right, everyone. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you next time.